Hi, everyone. I think we'll get started now because my watch says that we are right at 10:30. I've got 20 minutes with you guys, so I would like to welcome you to Brandon University's presentation. Because we're at 20 minutes today, I'm going to cut some of the sections a little bit short and try to just go over program information as well as some important things that I think that our new students should know. And so we will get started. So, get this going there. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, we are located in Brandon, Manitoba. We are one of the smaller universities in the province. Each year we've got about 3,500 students. And so that seems like a large number. When you split it up amongst classes, about 70% of our classes have 20 students or less. And so typically, from what you guys are experiencing in high school or whatever level of school you're at, 20 students is pretty typical for what people come in with. We are the second largest city in the province. However, if you've been to Brandon, you know that it's got sort of a small town feel, but we still have all the sort of amenities that you might want. I'm going to skip this slide just to make room for some other areas. But we are well known for our Bobcats teams. And so with our Bobcats, we've got a number of different sports you can play. Volleyball and basketball is available at the U Sport level. And then we also have two soccer teams. One is outdoor soccer. You see them playing in the fall. And then once the snow hits, we bring those soccer players inside and they play futsal, which is basically just indoor soccer. If you are interested in playing for our Bobcat teams, we do have the website there. It's gobobcats.ca. And you would just check that out and talk to our coaches, and they would come and meet you and see if you're the right fit for our teams. With our games, they are free for students. So anytime if you're a BU student and you want some entertainment, we've got often games on Fridays and Saturdays, home games, or what have you. And then we also have our Healthy Living Center, and that's fully open to our students as well. So you have access to the fitness center, as well as the walking track, as well as intramurals that take place in both of our gymnasiums. So residence we have available on campus. Residence is a great option, especially if you are coming from, someone says they can't hear. Hopefully you're able to hear me. Hopefully that's not a glitch, but if you can't hear me, maybe someone else could just let me know. Check your audio settings. I'm not sure. We'll just keep sort of trying to manage through. But with residents, the nice thing about a small university is that we do have 3 residences available right on campus, and they're all within walking distance of classes. So really convenient thing about our residence is that you're right there. You don't have to walk very far. You don't need to drive anywhere in the mornings. Extremely safe. We've got all the buildings are secure. And then also each residence plan comes with a meal plan. And so with that, you don't need to worry about cooking. You don't need to worry about buying groceries, which is very expensive, as we know. And you don't need to worry about the cleanup from groceries. We do have 3 different residences available. So there's Derrick Hall, which is a male inclusive residence, Flora Cowan, which is a female inclusive residence, and McMaster Hall, which is an all gendered residence. There we go. So we also have different services. So we know that coming from high school can sometimes be quite intimidating, because in high school, you often know all of your teachers. You've been with them for 4 years. You likely know your guidance counselors, they know you. And so in university, we know it can be overwhelming because you're often moving away from home. You're coming to a brand new school that doesn't function the same way as high school, which you're now used to. And so once you're in university, we do have all of these services available to students to make things more comfortable. The thing with university is that you have to take a lot of accountability for yourself and getting help, the help that you need. And so in the first sort of weeks of school, we try to make all of these services sort of well known to you. And so I'll talk about them just very quickly. They're not super exciting, but I do want you to know about them. And so with our university at least, we have mandatory academic advising. And so that means that you're going to meet with an academic advisor, usually in the spring, and they're going to help you choose your courses. So we want to make sure that you're taking the right courses to get to the right career path that you're thinking about. We don't want you to come in with any confusion about what you're taking. We want to make sure that you're on the right path. We also have our Academic Skills Center. And so with that, we offer writing, math, and learning skills. And so sometimes students come from high school without all of the correct tools in their toolbox. They might struggle with math, they might struggle with writing. Time management is a big one, especially for our first year students. And so if you're struggling with any of those things, we've got specialists available to help you. You can either make one-on-one appointments with them, or they do offer workshops throughout the semester. And so you can meet with them, they'll help you and hopefully get you on the right track with your learning. We also have personal counseling. We're just coming off of Bell Let's Talk Day that was yesterday. So we know that mental health is extremely important. And you guys, if you're students, already know that school can be stressful. And so with tests, with personal problems that come up, you might need someone to talk to. And so we've got those people available on campus. There's crisis appointments. You can make personal appointments whenever you need. And they also do workshops throughout the year as well. Student accessibility services. So this is if you have a permanent or a part-time disability. If you are already receiving accommodations in high school, we can put those in place at the university level as well. Or if you break your arm, if you break your leg, if you need any help at all, this office is there to help you with that. We also have Indigenous supports available. So we have all of those listed here. However, the one sort of main one that I like to let people know about is the Indigenous Peoples Center. They are located in the heart of our campus. They are just in the sort of right outside the library, and they're able to give social supports, academic support, as well as cultural supports. There's also a kitchen available there. And so with that, you are able to have free soup, have free bannock, and just sort of get to know other students on campus and get the help that you need. And last but not least, we also have career planning. And so if you are wondering sort of what you need to do with your career, or what you're thinking about, like if you're taking classes, you're like, I don't know what type of job this is going to lead me to, then you can meet with our career planning coordinator, and he can help you sort of make a plan. He can also give you one of those career tests to see what, or career aptitude tests to sort of see where your interests lie and where your skills, like what type of job would be best with that. And so great idea to meet with him. He can also help you get summer jobs or part-time jobs while you're a student. All right, so we're going to get into programs right now. And so this, we'll get into sort of the nitty gritty, but we have 5 different areas of study at Brandon University. A lot of our students from high school come to us sort of wondering like, what should I be doing? I know I need to get a university degree, but I don't know what I want to study. And so I often will talk about the Bachelor of Arts or the Bachelor of Science first of all, just because those are our 2 biggest degree areas. And oftentimes I see people coming in doing those 2 degrees, especially if they don't know what they want to do. And so there's a lot of flexibility within degrees. I often use degrees. I'll start talking about these and compare us to colleges. So if anyone sat in on a Assiniboine Community College's presentation before this, you might have heard some of their programs, like they've got a carpentry program, they've got welding, all sorts of those types of programs. And so When you do a college program, if you do carpentry, your job title is going to be a carpenter at the end. If you do welding, you're going to be a welder at the end. With university, it can sometimes be a little trickier because if you look at this list over here in this chart, if you take philosophy, chances are you're not going to be a philosopher at the end of your degree. However, there are thousands of jobs open because what you're going to get within a degree are called transferable skills. And so transferable skills are what employers are looking for. You're likely getting transferable skills right in school right now, or if you have a part-time job, you likely have skills that you're getting from that job. And that's the same as university. One of the big skills that our students get is critical thinking. They get flexibility, they learn how to public speak. And so with that, those are the things that our employers are looking for. And especially with, we're now coming out of a pandemic, you guys have experienced it quite a bit. But employers want flexibility. They want people to be able to sort of think on their feet and to be able to pivot when different things like pandemics come up and we have to learn how to do things different ways. So I'm going to talk about the Bachelor of Arts first. It is our biggest area of study. And so you'll have seen on that chart before that a lot of those areas are arts. And so a lot of times when I say arts, people in high school and middle school will think like, oh, like painting, drawing. And that is definitely part of our arts degree. So at the bottom there, you're going to see a Bachelor of Fine Arts. That is where we focus on drawing, painting, ceramics, Indigenous art, and it's a 4-year degree. So students can come into that. We don't need the students to have a portfolio right off the bat. So you don't need to show us your art before you come to us. While you're a student with us, we're going to get you to create a portfolio, and we're also going to teach you some business skills so that when you get out into the world, you'll be able to be employable. We also have a Bachelor of Business Administration. It's also a 4-year degree. And with that, you are learning general business skills. And so we've got some of those listed there. Accounting is a big one. Information management, marketing is a really fun one. But students who take our business administration degree get jobs in all walks of life. We teach general business just because we know that in a changing world, you need to have a lot of different sort of areas of expertise. And then last but not least, we've got our Bachelor of Arts, just general arts. And with that, that's where you're looking at things like the philosophy, the gender and women's studies, sociology, English, all of those different things. The really nice thing about Bachelor of Arts degrees, at least my favorite part, is the flexibility. So in that first year, you don't need to know exactly what you want to do. You can come and try some different things and see what you enjoy that way. And then we'll sort of choose things to focus on as you go throughout that degree. As I mentioned before, our Bachelor of Science is our other big area. And so we've got sort of 2 different routes you can take with that. We've got our general Bachelor of Science degree. And with that, you can focus on things like biology, chemistry, physics, mathematics, and computer science are also involved in the Bachelor of Science. The really nice thing about science in university is that it's a really hands-on program. So you're not just going to be sitting in a classroom every day, you're also going to have labs and you're going to get to go in and actually see how science works. A lot of us are people who learn by doing. And so having a degree where you can actually see how science works is really helpful for how we learn. We also have a Bachelor of Environmental Science. And so as you guys likely know, the environment is a big topic in today's world. We are very concerned about the climate. And so that is why we offer that degree. It's a 4-year program, and it's an interdisciplinary program. And so that means that we don't just focus on one subject. You're not just going to focus on like geography or animal welfare. You're also going to have some biology. You're going to do some chemistry in there. And you're going to use all of those to sort of figure out how we can best help the world and how we can sort of move forward in the future. I'm going to get into some of our more specific programs now. So we also have a Bachelor of Nursing and a Bachelor of Psychiatric Nursing. I'm going to sort of lump these 2 together as I'm talking about them, just because they work in a similar way. Your first year is going to be a year of pre-nursing or pre-psychiatric nursing. So you're going to get all of the preliminary courses before you apply into the second year. The second year of the program is competitive. We take the top 60 students from that first year, and that's where you actually get to start doing sort of the fun nursing practices. You'll get to go into the hospitals and see like how our nurses work. You'll get to try the different wards or the different floors of the hospital to sort of see where your preferences are. And it's a really great program. We've got fantastic advisors with that program that can help you sort of navigate your way through. And our nurses are extremely successful when they're done. They do great work, and they also make excellent pay, especially like right off the bat in their first year. Teaching is a very popular one, so I'm going to talk about a couple of the different options. So if you're thinking you would like to be a teacher, there's two different ways to do that. If you are interested in early and middle years, so the younger students, we would suggest a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Education integrated program that gets you right into education in your first few years, and you would be doing the 2 degrees at the same time. Our Bachelor of Education degree is for early, middle, and senior years. And with that, you would complete either an arts, science, or physical education degree first, and then you would do 2 years of education at the end. With both of these degrees, you're going to be a Class 5 teacher. They're both the same amount of time. It's just depending on sort of like what you're interested in teaching, as well as what grade level you're interested in teaching. I'm not going to go into too much detail with the Bachelor of Physical Education. I'll just let you know we have it. It is a 3-year program, and there are different streams available. So you don't necessarily have to become a teacher. If you were thinking more about like becoming a personal trainer or looking at management, we've got options for that as well. Last but not least, for programs, I am going to talk about our music program. Very well-known program. With this program, it's a little bit different because it is a competitive program. So when you go into music, you would have an audition. You would apply to the university first and then apply to the School of Music. Once you had been accepted to that program, all of our first-year students do a common first year, so they take all the same classes, and then you would choose one of these routes to take. Likely the most popular two would be our concurrent Bachelor of Music, Bachelor of Education. And so that's obviously if you want to be a band or a choral teacher in a high school or middle school or early years. And then there's also performance. It does require a second audition, but it teaches you how to be a performer. Our general music major is for students who aren't really interested in either of those, but they might be looking at things like specializing in composition. They might go into music therapy. And so, yeah, just focusing on a different area of music. I am just going to give a quick shout out to our pre-professional programs. So these are often very popular programs because they have job titles that students sort of recognize. And so they're often drawn to them. With these programs, because we're a smaller university, we don't offer the full professional program here. However, you can start at Brandon University. You can take your first 1 to 4 years here, and then you can apply to whatever school offers the program. You cannot go directly into these programs because they are competitive programs and professional programs. So you would start with us. I'll use social work as my example. Social work requires 1 year of university study, and then you would apply to the University of Manitoba and complete the program there. All right, the next little bit, I'm literally going to fly through because we're running out of time. I will just let you know a couple of quick things. If you are interested in applying, we recommend applying before March 1st. That's our scholarships deadline. I will just talk about admissions quickly. One interesting fact about BU is we are an open admissions university. And the reason for that is we want the university to be open for as many Manitoba high school students as possible. And so our only admission requirement is that you graduate from high school. If you are interested in a certain area, we do have a chart here that you can see quickly. There are some high school courses that are required. However, if you do need to upgrade, you can do that in university. We do have scholarships and bursaries. There's more information about that on our website. And I won't go into tuition just because we don't have time. But yeah, we have made it to 10:50. So thank you all for joining. I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your day and enjoy all the live streams and the career fair. And we will hopefully have an opportunity to talk to you again. Thank you. Bye.